In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Flippity Randomizer tool, give you some ideas of how I've used it in my classroom, and a quick overview of how to create your own randomizer. So the Flippity Randomizer is kind of like a slot machine. So we're going to go to the demo and look at Flippity's demo so you can see exactly how this works. You can have up to at least 6 different wheels here spinning, and you'll see that there is a title for each. So this one is set up with a who, what, when, and where. And all I have to do to kind of pull down on the handle is I'm going to click this one here that is going to spin all the wheels. So all of the wheels are going to spin, and then I'm going to come up with this: a brilliant scientist launching a nuclear missile at 3:30 p.m. this afternoon in a submarine. Now, it's not always easy to read this going straight across the middle, which is why it also appears at the top, which is really nice. Now, you do have some options here, so you'll notice that this button over on the right spins the entire thing. You can also use these up and down buttons to move all of them if you'd rather say that Luke Skywalker got in a fight over the last donut 20 years ago on the moon. I think that's a better sentence. Or if maybe there's like one detail that you want to change. If you want to say that Luke Skywalker got in a fight over the last donut at 3:30 p.m. this afternoon, make it more recent on the moon, you can change these up or down one, or you can just totally respin it and see, oh, he's getting in a fight this very instant on the moon. So you have these to spin the individual wheels as well as the control over here to spin the entire thing. If I click this X, it just takes that element out. So like, oh, okay, I'm not going to use a when for this one. But I think most times the way you would use this, you would keep everything in there. So that's what the randomizer tool does. Now, I'm going to show you a few examples of how I have used the randomizer myself, and then we'll go through the instructions for it. So one way that I've used this is when students need to structure sentences or questions that go in a prescribed order. I'm a French teacher, and in my level 1 class we're working on simple questions where the question word actually goes at the end of the question. And so using a really limited set of vocabulary, I put together a randomizer that has a subject, a verb, an other, and then our question word. And so we could do this as a whole class where I would have this up on the board and ask for maybe volunteers to tell me how to say that, or students could do this in pairs as well. So if I spin all the wheels, let's say that we get this sentence: she does Spanish with whom? And students would have to put together the vocab they know to say elle fait l'espagnol avec qui. But maybe they're like, well, doesn't really make sense there. Plays Spanish, nope, that doesn't work. Speaks Spanish, ooh, that makes more sense. So if they needed to adjust one of the terms so that it's more logical, they can certainly do that, although sometimes it's fun to come up with a sentence that isn't really 100% possible. Another way that I've used it is for a circumlocution activity with my French 3 students. When they're practicing how to circumlocute, I give them terms that they most likely do not know how to say in French, and they have to use only French to communicate those ideas to their partner. So essentially the game of taboo. And so to have students pick some words, I put a whole bunch of words in this Flippity, and then I would, as the student, I would spin the wheel, and here are the 6 words I need to communicate to my partner. I can do those in any order I want, but I have like, I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that, to try to get my partner to guess as many of these words as possible. So I have this on my device. My partner is not looking at their device at the moment, but then when we switch, they're going to spin the wheel. They're going to get a completely different combination of terms. So if you just need to give students a random list of something, like a list from a big chunk, you could put it into a randomizer. I've also used this with grammar practice. So this is when my students are learning how to put together a certain type of past tense that essentially has 4 components. It has a subject, it has the auxiliary or helping verb, it has the past participle, which is actually like the action verb in the past, and then there's this agreement component. So I put all of those pieces in here together. They would spin the wheel, and then they would need to tell their partner whether or not this is accurate. So les garçons sont morts, nothing at the end. So they would have to look at this and go, okay, well, sont actually matches with les garçons, so that's correct. Mort, well, the agreement part isn't right, so then they would use the up or down arrows. Since my subject is les garçons, I would need an S at the end. So once they're able to fix it, then they would tell their partner les garçons sont morts means the boys have died or the boys died. Not a great sentence, but it works for that purpose. So then the next student would spin the wheel, and then again they would get a completely different subject, first verb, second verb, agreement, and then they would need to shift anything that isn't actually accurate in this. So this is for a grammar practice activity. So I tried something new this year. I actually had students kind of create a Flippity Randomizer, and the way that I did that is they needed to fill out a Google form that asked them for 4 pieces of information. That information then, because it was in a Google form, went into a Google spreadsheet. I was able to simply copy the information from the Google spreadsheet and put it into this Google spreadsheet, which was my template. So they needed to enter in the name of a person, either real or imaginary, a place, an activity, and an emotion. So there were some students that entered the same information as someone else, so I deleted duplicates, which is why not all of these have the same number in. And that's something important to know too. When you take a look at these, you'll notice that, for example, this one has some black because it doesn't have as many options as some of the other ones. So you don't need to have the same number of terms in each of those. This accord, there's only 4 options for this one, but my past participle, there are 17, and my auxiliary, there are 6. So you don't have to have the same number of terms in each different column. So each column is going to get a title, and then you're going to put your information in there. Like I said, I actually got this information from my students. They filled out a Google form. That information went into a spreadsheet, and then I could just copy the information from that spreadsheet and put it into this one. Then when I went ahead and published this and got the link, this is what they got, and we use this just as a starter for creating a little mini skit. So students were working in pairs or groups of 3. They would spin the wheel, and whatever they got, that's what they had to create. So my group, then we would have to create a skit that somehow involved George Washington going to the movie theater, exploring, and he or someone else with him maybe is happy. I think the way that I did this, I actually had students working in pairs and both people spun the wheel, so they would get 2 totally separate sets of information, and their goal was to try to work in both people, both places, both activities, and both emotions into their skit. So this one was just a really fun thing to do. And if students really had their heart set on something, so for example, someone had actually put in all of the information for Puff the Magic Dragon. They had said Puff the Magic Dragon, the sea, frolic in the autumn mist, and then I don't remember what they used as their emotion. So, I mean, if they want to mess with it a little bit, they can. Whatever is going to get them excited about the task at hand. So there are lots of different ways that you can use the Flippity Randomizer. Just to give you a quick little reminder of how we do this, we looked at the demo. The instructions are always right there, and the instructions for anything Flippity are going to be the same. Step 1, modify the template. 2, publish it. 3, get the link. And then 4, save that link somewhere so that you can share it with students or however you are going to be using it in the future. So if I click on the template, it's going to ask me to make a copy. I'm going to make a copy of the template. And this is what we saw in the demo template. So the demo template had a who, what, when, and where. I'm going to delete all the information that they had in the white boxes. I'm also going to change the information that is in the line number 2 box because that's the title. I cannot change these blue boxes here. We don't want to mess with those because if we change anything in that, Flippity is not going to recognize it. But as long as it's got a white background, it's fair game to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a basic activity, and I'm only going to use 4 columns, but you can see actually the columns go all the way up to 10. So you could have as many as 10 spinners. It will only generate spinners for the ones that you have filled. So as long as you have nothing in the column, it won't create a spinner for it. So if I only use 4 columns, mine will only have 4. If I filled up 7 of them, then it would have 7. So this is where I'm going to put all of my information in for each of those categories. Okay, so now I have all my information in here. So for sujet, I have different subjects that students can use. I'm going to update that cell. There we go. Aller, I have different places. Manger, food items. Faire, I have different activities. So let's say that my goal is we're going to practice past tense, and I just want to give students some ideas of things to do. So they could say that someone went somewhere and they ate something and they did this activity, and I want to give them some vocab to start with. So I put in all my information. Now I want to make sure that I remember to change the name of this. So I'm just going to call this test activity Flippity Randomizer, and then I always like to change the name down at the bottom too, because that way I can keep my different activities straight and I'll see it when I'm actually in the activity. So I'm just going to call this test activity. Now next to this it says get the link, but I can't get the link yet because first I need to publish. So I'm going to go up to File and Publish to the Web. I'm going to leave this information as it is, click on Publish, OK, and then it gives me a link here, but that's not the link I want to use. I'm going to close this window. I'm going to go to my tab here and click on the link that Flippity provides me. So when I click on that link, now I get the spinner that I just made with my subject, my place to go, my thing to eat, and my activity, and I can spin the wheel and my students can practice coming up with sentences. Je suis allé au cinéma, j'ai mangé des chips, j'ai étudié le français. Okay, so that's how we use a Flippity Randomizer activity. There are lots of possibilities for using it in your classroom. Just keep in mind that this link, the one that we got from here, you could either copy it from here or you can copy it from the bar here. That's the one that you want to make sure that you save, put it in your digital lesson plan or wherever you keep track of your online materials. Save that link because that's the one you're going to want to access when you're using it yourself or to send out to students.